He says, watch therefore, for you do not know what hour your Lord is coming. But know this, that if the master of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched and not allowed his house to be broken into. Therefore, you also be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an hour you do not expect. Now, this is interesting, because when you think about it, you start running into some problems with this metaphor and the different characters in it. Because the view I hold is not the commonly taught view. It certainly wasn't when I was growing up in the church. As always, I'll share my view, you discern and consider it. In verse 43, this is what I believe. The house is idiomatically the earth. The house represents the earth. Now, understanding that, who then idiomatically would be the master of the house? Who's the master of the earth at that time? I know I'm asking you to go out on a limb here because you're thinking, you're like, if I'm wrong, Jeff, I'm going to be saying literally the opposite of what it actually is. So I won't make you do that. But I believe the master of the house here is Satan. Would you write that down and hang with me? I'm going to walk us through this. Which means, as strange as it may sound, in this specific metaphor, who is the thief? It's Jesus. It's Jesus. Jesus is going to come and steal away his church at a time that will take Satan by surprise, which lends some credence to the reason that God the Father may not have revealed the day and hour of the rapture to Jesus while he was on the earth, because he didn't want Satan to know. To Satan and non-believers, you need to know this. Jesus will seem like a thief when he raptures his church. And if this thief illustration is unsettling you, and I can read a room, let me point out that we find our brother Paul using the same illustration with the same characters in a way in 1 Thessalonians 5, verses 1 to 11. You can turn there or I'll read it to you. 1 Thessalonians 5, beginning in verse 1. It says, it's on your outlines. But concerning the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I should write to you, for you yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so comes, what? As a thief in the night. Paul's saying, guys, you already know this. This is what I taught you when I was with you. And then as I shared earlier when I went through the same passage in an earlier message, notice how Paul switches pronouns now. He switches from talking about you, the believers in Thessalonica, to talking about they, who are the non-believers. And he says, for when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes upon them, as labor pains upon a pregnant woman, and they shall not escape. But you, brethren, are not in darkness, so that this day should overtake you as a thief. You are all sons of light and sons of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. So to believers, Jesus won't seem like a thief when he comes for his church. He'll be the most welcome sight we've ever seen. But to non-believers, Jesus and that whole day of the Lord will seem like a thief when the rapture takes place. Are you tracking with me? The same event, the rapture of the church, is going to be perceived completely differently by believers and non-believers. Paul says, therefore, let us not sleep as others do, but let us watch and be sober. For those who sleep, sleep at night, and those who get drunk at night. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and as a helmet the hope of salvation. For God did not appoint us to wrath, but to obtain salvation through our Lord Jesus Christ, who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we should live together with him. Therefore, comfort each other and edify. That means encourage one another, just as you are also doing. What will be a most glorious event for believers will be a most terrible event for non-believers, for it will mark shortly the beginning of the most tumultuous season of history the world will ever know. And so Paul tells us, hey, don't tune out and waste your time on meaningless things in life. Don't fall asleep in terms of your focus and priorities. Don't get caught up in sin. Stay righteous and encourage each other in these things, because Jesus is coming for us soon.